Hi, I'm Tiffany with New Perspective Fitness, and we'll be exploring a seated and standing shoulder mobility workout as part of our Gentle Aging series, our most inclusive workouts designed for older adults. In this session, we're going to guide your shoulders through their full range of motion within your comfort level. Please ensure that you have medical clearance to engage in exercises that involve moving your shoulders in all directions. We're going to begin seated, so grab a chair and let's get moving. Begin forward in your chairs, sitting up nice and tall. Take your fingertips to your shoulders, and we're going to execute forward elbow rolls. We're moving the elbows forward and then back. You're just breathing normally throughout this movement. The circular motion of elbow rolls helps to increase the range of motion of our shoulders, and it's also lubricating the shoulder joint. This exercise is just going to help promote more blood flow in the shoulder region, and it also aids in muscle recovery. Now reverse the direction of this elbow roll. This feels better because we're opening up that pec minor. We have our chest, which is our pec major, and then the pec minor is here, more in that armpit area. And we tend to have very forward posture just due to the nature of having so much technology in our lives. And so this really opens up the front of the chest and the front of the shoulder that can be very tight. Now, let's extend our arms out and our palms are down. We're in a nice T position, drop the shoulders down. We're moving into straight arm circles. From here, start with very small circles forward. Now, within your comfort level, you are going to start making these circles progressively bigger. This is a pain-free range of motion for you, so we will all look different. Now we're making the largest circle that we can in this forward motion. Slowly begin to make your arm circle smaller until we return to the start position. Beautiful. Now take these arm circles back, please. So start with a backward motion, beginning small, and then we'll get bigger. Arm circles, as you can feel, help strengthen the muscles and the tendons around your shoulder, and it provides better support for your joint. And it also can reduce your risk of injury. We're now in our biggest backward circle. And now let's start making our circles small again and return to the start position. Wonderful. Again, we're still forward in our chairs, focusing on good posture. Our arms are down by our sides. Our next exercise is shoulder shrugs. All we're doing is we're driving our shoulders up and then down. Up and down. So this is the shoulder shrug, and it helps release tension in our shoulder and our neck and our upper back. It can help you feel more agile throughout the upper back and shoulder region. And this movement can really help engage and strengthen the trapezius, the upper trapezius, which is right here. Shoulder shrugs can also reveal if you keep tension in your neck and you have chronic tightness. If you're noticing that there's not a huge difference between the upward and the downward motion, that might be a sign that you need to focus on relaxing more through your neck and your upper back. 2 more. All right, we're now moving on to a standing exercise, pendulum swings. You may have done this exercise if you have ever rehabbed from a shoulder injury, because this is a very common place where we start. Pendulum swings have different variations, so I want to be clear about the pendulum swing. You may move your shoulder forward and back, from side to side, or a circular type motion. Today we're going to focus on that circular motion. This is a passive range of motion for your shoulder. We need our chair. Now, if you want to be higher on the back of your chair, that's fine. Or the more farther down you can bring your body, it's going to put pressure on your shoulder in a good way. Because again, this is a passive range of motion. So my hand is here on my chair. If you have problems with wrist extension, feel free to make a fist with your hand. My right arm is down and it's truly dangling. I want you to feel really relaxed through this shoulder joint. Now we're going to move our arm with the help of our body. So imagine that I had on a necktie or a lanyard and I was trying to move my arm and move that lanyard in a circular motion. Do you see how my arm is a reaction? It's just passively moving with the movement of my hips and my whole body. This is what we're going for when we're doing the pendulum swings. If you would like more, you could always add a light dumbbell, 1, 3, or 5 pound dumbbell. You do want to keep that dumbbell light. Now we're going to stop and then change the direction of your body. We're focusing on breathing deeply as we do this exercise and really get this pendulum circular motion with your body. Nice. Now let's go over to the other side. Again, if wrist extension is not right for your arm or wrist, feel free to make a fist here. We're going to be bent over, passive, relax, and start moving that body to try to get your arm to move. We're trying to do a circular motion. It probably looks kind of like an egg or an oblong shape. That is A-okay. We're just trying to reduce stiffness that can happen in this shoulder capsule. Also remember, when we move at our joints, it does help increase that synovial fluid and it adds more lubrication where we need it. Let's stop our body and then change the direction of the circle by moving your whole body. Again, if you want more here, feel free to hold a light dumbbell in this arm that is passively moving. All right, now slowly come on up. You can be seated or standing for this next exercise. If you're seated like me, please sit forward in your chair, feet flat on the floor. Our arms are coming into a T position. We're in T pose, and our palms are currently up. Please rotate your arms down, and we're going to hold. We're in internal rotation of our shoulder joint, and we're just going to hold this end range of motion, breathing deeply. And now slowly rotate back up and go as far as you can into external rotation. Hold this end range of motion. This motion enhances the ability of the shoulders to rotate, which is very important for daily activities such as driving, dressing, and grooming. Think brushing or combing your hair, cooking, cleaning, and then even our recreational activities such as golf, swimming, and pickleball, just to name a few. So we're going down and holding that end range of motion and internal rotation, and then slowly move back up through neutral and then moving into external rotation. And this, as you can feel, it's strengthening the muscles around the shoulder blade and the upper back. If you're new to this movement, it's all right if you take breaks. Regular movement at the shoulder capsule helps increase mobility of the shoulders and the upper back. And then move through neutral into external rotation. Hold that end range, breathe deeply. All right, we're now standing for assisted internal rotation. For this exercise, I would like you to place your hands behind your back and grab on to your right wrist with your left hand. We're now bringing our arms away from our body just a few inches, and then with your left hand, you're going to press the right arm up into assisted internal rotation. And this is improving the range of motion of your shoulder for behind the back activities. And we're still holding and breathing. Slowly bring your arms down and they can return back to your body. We're gonna do 3 of these. Lift your arms away from your body, and then using your left arm, you're pressing your right arm up. You're assisting internal rotation just as high up as you can go. We're avoiding any pain. So this is below our pain threshold. It's okay if you feel tension. Slowly release from that assisted internal rotation and your hands can return to your body. 1 more. Lift your arms away from the body and then use your bottom arm. That left arm presses the right arm up your back. Breathe deeply. Release your arms down. Let's change the arm that we're working. So with our right arm, we will clasp onto our left wrist. Bring your arms away from the body, and then using your right hand, you're gonna press your left arm up. As we do this exercise, we're maintaining neutral. Make sure we're looking straight ahead. Slowly lower the arms, and they can return to your body. Round 2, lift the arms away. Use the right hand to press the left arm up the back. So this is a very important stretch. We shouldn't lose our internal rotation. This is gonna help you if you have to fasten clothing behind your back, or even if you're tucking a shirt in behind you. Slowly lower the arms down, return to your body. And again, keeping the abs drawn in, nice neutral spine, lift the arms away. Use your right arm to press your left arm up that back. You may feel a deep stretch in the front of both shoulders as you do this exercise. And then lower your arms back down. Great, let's take a seat again, and we're moving into seated butterfly wings. So this is a great way to open up that chest. Let's begin with our arms forward, just like so. We can bring our arms in. Now your arms do not need to touch for this one, okay? So they could just be about shoulder width apart or a little closer. And our goal is to maintain neutral as we open up the arms as much as we can. Feel that deep stretch in your chest. And then slowly return in. So as you can feel, this exercise opens up the chest and the shoulders, and it improves flexibility and range of motion, and it also reduces muscle tightness that we can get in the front of our bodies. Expanding the chest also allows for greater lung capacity, and that facilitates deeper and more effective breathing. As we do this exercise, we're keeping our shoulders down, away from our ears. Butterfly wings, the exercise that we're doing, enhances coordination because it synchronizes the action of your chest, your shoulders, and your arms. Two more, we're opening up and close. Last one. Let's finish in the closed position. Excellent. So at this time, I would like you to grab a sip of water, and then we're gonna come back and we are using a long dowel for the next series. Welcome back. We're going to begin with using a dowel, or full disclosure, this is just a broomstick and I just removed the head. You want to make sure that you do that because you want the dowel or the stick that you're using not to be imbalanced. They want to be even from side to side. To start, I want to ensure that we all understand what I mean when I say neutral spine position. So please take your broomstick or your dowel behind your head, and ideally you're going to align your body. Now, it's very common that a lot of us have forward head posture. So don't try to look up in order to get the back of your head in contact with this dowel. You're just going to stand in your best upright posture, knowing that some of you may be away from this stick. Ideally, 3 points of contact mean the back of your head, right in between your shoulder blades, the upper back, and your tailbone are all in contact with this stick, and there's a space behind your neck and also your low back. This means neutral spine position. It's important for us to understand neutral spine position because as we do these exercises, we want to maintain neutral. For our first exercise, we are going to execute shoulder flexion. Please have an overhand wide grip. So I'm in a low V here, and you're going to gently lift your arms up, maintaining neutral, lifting as high as your shoulder comfort allows. And then slowly lower back down. Usual range of motion, if you don't have any limitations, is lifting your arms up and you're able to get to 180 degrees. Some may be able to go beyond. As we do this exercise, ensure that your shoulders are staying away from your ears and we're not allowing those shoulders to hike up. It's very common that a lot of us can only do about 100 degrees or maybe 140. If you can get to 180 or beyond, that is absolutely phenomenal. Raising your arms overhead engages the core, and this is essential for stability. As we do these exercises, just remember to breathe. One great aspect of doing mobility exercises is to let your body be relaxed as we move through this end range of motion, so when we are in shoulder flexion. Regularly lifting the arms is going to help strengthen the shoulder joints and improve your mobility. Dowel shoulder flexion helps improve circulation throughout the upper body and the shoulder region. Nice. So that was shoulder flexion. We're now going to take the dowel behind our back, and my hands are just right outside of my shoulder, so just right in shoulder alignment, and we are going to lift the dowel away from our body. This is shoulder extension, and then slowly return. Gently lifting this dowel away from your body helps strengthen the posterior aspect of the shoulder and our back. Regular extension exercises can counteract forward shoulder slump, which is so common as we age, and also so many of us are guilty of using technology and having that forward head and forward shoulder posture. So this really helps to counteract that poor posture. Making sure that we're nice and mobile throughout all these end ranges of our shoulder is a beautiful way to ensure that we keep our shoulder healthy and injury-free. One more. At this time, we are done with our dowel, so go ahead and just put it off to the side, and then we're going to do standing shoulder abduction. We're going to begin standing with our feet hip distance apart and have your palms face the front of the room. This is shoulder abduction. The movement sequence is to lift the arms up only as high as you can with without compensating. So that would mean we don't want to hike our shoulders. And then from here, we're going to slowly go back down and return to the start position. By regularly practicing this shoulder abduction, it's going to help strengthen our deltoid muscles. So that just means the muscles of our shoulders. And this can help with carrying objects and also when we lift things overhead. The ability to maintain shoulder abduction, this particular range of the shoulder, is really important for when we put clothing on over our head. So think, putting on a sweatshirt and even like combing or brushing your hair. And that's just going to help with maintaining overall independence. Earlier we talked about our neutral spine and the 3 points of contact. So as you do this exercise, make sure that you're maintaining neutral, our abdominals are braced, and we don't want to arch through that back to try to create a fuller range of motion through our shoulders. Let's do one more here. All right, we're gonna take a seat. As always, sit forward in your chair so that we can really engage our core. Our feet are firmly planted on the floor. We're going to have our arms open. This is gonna help open up your chest, and we're gonna work our back muscles. The movement sequence is to pull your arms back, open up that chest. Now you're thinking of squeezing the shoulder blade. This is literally called a scapular squeeze. So that's what we're doing. We're squeezing our shoulder blades. We're holding for about 5 counts. And then you're going to release to neutral. So again, pull back and hold. So the muscles that we're working with this exercise is our rhomboid muscle, right in between the shoulder blades, and also our middle trapezius. And then arms go forward. Let's go again, back and hold. This exercise is really gonna encourage proper posture when we're sitting and also standing. And then release. It really does help to realign the spine because so many times we have forward posture. We're looking at electronics, we're on our tablets or our cell phones or our iPads. So we really need to make sure that we're really opening up our chest and working our back in the proper way. And then release forward again. So at this point, you might be feeling a lot of intensity through that middle back and even the back of your neck. I'll hear that a lot from clients. And that's not a problem at all. It just means that we're weak there and we're not used to firing off these muscles. And then release. So with more practice, following this exercise and doing this specific video more and more, you're gonna feel stronger and these repetitions will feel easier. And then forward. Again, pull back and hold. Everyone describes muscle fatigue differently. For me, I almost feel like a warmth or like a burning sensation, and it's just natural when you're working your muscles. And then release. We're feeling a mobilization of the front of our shoulder, but you're feeling the muscular work and the contraction of the upper middle back, and then the back of the shoulder, the posterior or the rear deltoid. Release. Let's do one more. Back and hold. Abs are braced and drawn in. Wonderful. We're now moving on to 2 active stretches. So with this one, it's an upper back stretch. I'm gonna start with my hands clasped. Watch me first if you're new to this move. I'm going to press my arms forward and I am rounding through the upper back and the middle back, and I'm looking down at my thighs. I'm holding this position here and I'm breathing. Slowly exit this pose and return to the start position. We're going to do 2 more. So we're just taking the arms forward, the arms are clasped, and just drop that head down, look at your thighs. We're targeting our thoracic spine, which is the upper middle back and even that neck. Slowly return to the start, and let's do 1 more. Go ahead and press the arms forward. This is an awesome stretch for people that have chronic pain in their upper back, which is very common. So this is a beautiful stretch for you to incorporate every single day. And then and slowly exit. Let's do another active stretch for our chest. So for this one, I'm gonna clasp my hands behind me, and this is just called chest expansion. You are going to take your hands away from your body and hold here. You can even think of slightly pulling your arms apart, but don't let them actually release from one another. Keep them clasped. And then go ahead and return. You're feeling an opening of the chest and the front of the shoulder. Here we go. Pull the arms away from the body and hold. Again, we're maintaining neutral in this position. We are bracing our abdomen here. We're working our stomach muscles. And release. And one more time. Go ahead and lift those arms away from the body. Breathe deeply. And release. All right, so I'd like to offer you one more water break, and then when we come back, we're gonna do some static stretches. We're now going to finish with our static stretches. Sit forward in your chair, make sure your feet are planted on the ground, and sit up nice and tall. We're going to take our right arm right across our body. This is called the cross-body arm stretch, and your only goal is to ensure that you're not putting pressure on your elbow joint, because that could hyperextend your arm. So your hand could be below your elbow or even above. And then also look at my shoulder. We don't want our shoulder hiked up. We want our shoulder down away from our ear, and we're just trying to feel nice and relaxed. So if you don't want your arm out like this, you could even let your wrist, just hang and be floppy and relaxed, because we're just trying to stretch the back of the shoulder. This is your rear deltoid. Now let's take that right arm down and bring the left arm across. Again, remembering we're not putting direct pressure on our elbow, but you could be above or below the elbow, shoulder down away from the ear. And this is just a great exercise to release tension that we can have in our upper mid-back and the back of the shoulder. Now, earlier we were doing a lot of range of motion exercises where you move your joint through its fullest range of motion. That is called a mobility exercise. What we're doing right now is a flexibility exercise. It's a static hold, and we're trying to specifically target muscles with these stretches. Next, I would like to do neck semicircles. So we're not going to move in a full circle, we're just going to move in a half circle. You may place your hands on your lap and follow me. I'm going to take my left ear towards my shoulder, and I'm going to drop my head down, moving to the right, and then I'm just going to do that semicircle back. Neck semicircles help release tension that we can have in our neck. And it also stretches your neck in various degrees. So as I'm doing this, I am making this a mobility drill where I have constant movement from side to side, and it's slow and controlled. If you notice that it would feel good for your body to hold a specific angle, I invite you to hold that angle. You don't have to keep moving your neck. If you want to do more of a static hold, that is fine. You might notice snap, crackle, pop, kind of like the sound of like Rice Krispies if you put milk on your Rice Krispie cereal. That is referred to as crepitus. It's not anything that you need to worry about. It just means that there's tightness in your neck, and I promise you, with commitment to this workout, that crepitus can get better, and it can even go away. Nice. We're now going to stretch the upper trap. So the upper trap is the side of the neck here. It's a back muscle. And to do this stretch, I want you to take your right ear towards the shoulder. Now, to deepen this stretch, feel free to put your left arm down, and then we're gonna apply over pressure. You should feel this stretch on the side of your neck. And this is a common area where so many of us hold a lot of tension. So this might be a stretch that you want to incorporate every single day. Release your hand and bring your neck back up to neutral. And then we're going to drop to the left. Feel free to put your right arm down on the bottom of the chair and then apply pressure. Again, this is upper trap or upper trapezius stretch. Release your hand and then bring your head up. We're now moving on to a levator scapula stretch, which you're going to feel more on the posterior aspect of the neck. So for this one, let's go ahead and we're gonna drop our right ear towards our shoulder, and you're thinking we were just here. Follow along. So we're gonna bring our arm up, but now this is where it becomes a different stretch. I want you to look down at your right thigh. So we're drawing our head forward, and you should feel this stretch on your left side of the neck, but the posterior aspect, kind of right near your cervical vertebrae. Release your hand, bring your head back up to neutral, and let's drop to the left. Apply pressure. We know this, it's the upper trap stretch, but let's make it the levator scapula stretch. Now please look down at your left thigh. And if it's available to you, you could put your right hand on the bottom of your chair, and that just creates more tension and can deepen the stretch. Breathe deeply. Release your hand, return to neutral. So the reason why we stretched through the neck is because the neck and shoulder are so much connected. We're going to finish by looking to the right. So with me, go ahead and try to keep your chin neutral, parallel to the floor, and look to the right side of the room. Center, and now look to the left. And center. Thank you so much for joining me for this shoulder mobility workout. I hope you feel more open and limber. I'm Tiffany with New Perspective Fitness, and I'll catch you next time.